This is the Japanese American National Museum that opened in 1992. The mission of the museum is to share the experiences of Japanese Americans to create a better understanding and appreciation of America's cultural diversity. When the museum first opened in 1992, it was really focused on this whole idea of preserving the Japanese American experience from immigration from Japan to the World War II incarceration of Japanese Americans to the resettlement and subsequent growth of the Japanese American community. Because we opened in 1992, there were the Los Angeles uprisings, and we knew at that point that the museum had to do more than just focus solely on the Japanese American experience. And so we have worked really hard to, on one hand, tell the story, the many different stories of Japanese Americans, but we have also tried to find many intersections and connections with all the other different communities that make up Los Angeles. I felt it was really important because a lot of the people that experienced the camps are now passing away, so there won't be many of them left. But really to tell their story in a way that would really strike an emotional chord in visitors, because I think it's an important story, and we want people to really, put it into themselves and remember it deeply, not just like it was a good story, but a story that had deep emotional content. I worked here since 1992, and the night before we were going to open our museum on the other side was the night that they released the verdicts for the Rodney King trial. And we already got a sense that there was trouble happening, but we were working really hard inside. So it wasn't until I went home that night where I could just see the city was basically on fire all over the place. So they had to cancel the public opening. Where we were sitting here was a parking lot, and it had about 1,200 chairs all spread out, but they weren't going to do the celebration because obviously there was a much bigger event occurring. But again, I think what it did tell us was that the diversity in Los Angeles only can survive if we all work together. I think the struggles are really about organizing and trying to group the many different constituencies you have. Our benefit was that we had this very distinct group that all went through this one experience together so they could organize to then support that. For me, it's important for all people their communities to try to document their stories and share them with everybody, because our American history will only become stronger when the foundation of all of our histories are there together in mass. The more stories we have to tell the American story, the stronger that truth will be. It won't be just this cherry-picked, line of history.